What is up, guys? It's YaroWins, and I'm going to bring you a quick video on camera settings in FIFA 20. So I've had a couple of queries and questions in the comments from other videos, basically asking what camera settings I use, what are the best sort of settings to use in the game, and yeah, this video will be basically just looking at some of the options available, looking at the pros and cons of the different cameras, sort of what they bring, what they're used for, and it all comes down really to personal preference. So at the moment I'm making use of the Tele Broadcast camera, and I'm slightly changing that in terms of obviously zoom or height, sometimes depending on what I want. So obviously you can see the slight sort of subtle changes when you change the height or the zoom of the camera, and yeah, essentially those small little changes are going to be based on personal preference. Like in this particular camera angle, this is co-op, so this is what I was using for the majority of FIFA 20 and the last few FIFA games actually. So this particular camera is the best, I would say, if you want to get the full view of the pitch. But sometimes, I don't know, it's a bit frustrating to feel like you're too far from the action, which is why I've changed to Tele Broadcast now. So Tele Broadcast is essentially quite close to the pitch camera, but it sort of quickly pans around. So you'll see an example in here. So obviously you can see from, in comparison to co-op, you're a lot closer to the pitch, but you need to play around with the height and the zoom to make sure it works for you, because in some cases, I have to admit, there are negatives also to this, because obviously you can't see the full scope of the pitch, you can't see exactly where some of your teammates may be running, especially for defending as well. For example, if it's like a long ball or sort of a through ball, you do really ideally need to see the full pitch, because it is quite difficult to just look at the radar and try to make out where people are running and things like that. So again, it all comes down to height and zoom, making use of an understanding, I guess, actually understanding what exactly you want. So I think it's a very interchangeable thing, and I think it just, there's no one camera setting that fits every player, because as I say, there's pros and cons to all of the different camera angles that are available. But in my personal opinion and sort of my advice, I would say it's either going to be co-op if you want to have a sort of wider and sort of larger view of the pitch, or Tele Broadcast, because you feel like you're close to the pitch. The way that it sort of pans quickly, I mean, for me personally, I think it helps me sort of play quicker, because the camera moves with me, and I found it quite effective to sort of play a counter-attacking style, whereas co-op is better if you're playing a more possession kind of style. So yeah, as I say, guys, that is my advice on it. Obviously it's going to come down to what your personal preferences are, but yeah, just let me know if you have any more questions, if this has helped you out, and yeah, stay tuned, guys, because there's going to be a lot more content coming up. So yeah, just leave a like, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Peace.